Welcome back, everyone. We're here today with episode 146 of the Integrative Health Coach Success Podcast. Looking forward to chatting with you here today because I literally just got off of our last workshop with our business mentorship experience group, the very first group that we took through. Amazing feedback, amazing people. I would expect, of course, nothing less from our IHPs. But what I like to do is I like to make sure that everyone in whether it's IHP level 1, level 2, mastery, or BME, that they get all of their questions answered. And whenever there's room to expand on a topic, I always want to create a podcast around it as well. So inside of BME, we actually teach people how to create essentially the coaching career of their dreams. Like, what would they love doing? And we develop a schedule around it. We develop social media around it, creating content, developing your niche, your ideal client, setting up your website, so much. And it's a lot of fun. But one thing they want to hear is how can you actually get more referrals, not just from your clients, because we taught that on this podcast as well, but how do you get them from maybe your peers and colleagues? So I want to share with you a really simple story, something that I loved doing, especially when I was just starting out. So if you're just starting out or even experienced, this will absolutely work. And it can work virtually now that a lot of people are virtual, but it also works in person, in office, and it works phenomenally well. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I did to develop this and help clients at the bottom line. Think about this. Okay, you might be a personal trainer listening to this, a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, an integrative health practitioner, a health coach of some type, like massage therapist, esthetician, you name it, right? So what are you doing? You're essentially a client's coming to you, excuse me, and they want an end result. You know, what do they want? Well, all right, an esthetician, they want better skin, more youthful looking appearance. Personal trainer, they want to get in better shape maybe, or train for something. Massage therapist, they've got, muscle adhesions and they want to, feel more limber and loose. Chiropractor, they might be overcoming an injury, right? You get the point. Okay. So they're coming to a health coach for what? Well, as an IHP, you might be going over a specific lab or some health-based condition. Here's the thing though, all of those people that are willing to seek out a coach of some type, and you can consider an esthetician a coach, right? They're providing a service and they're also telling you like, drink more water, eat an anti-inflammatory diet plan, like all of these different things. We have a lot of estheticians inside of IHP recommending food sensitivity tests and recommending gut testing and omega-3s and all those great things as an adjunct to their practice. Well, think about this. You're not going to be the end all, be all for your clients. And that's not a bad thing because a health coaching client very well may have a personal trainer. They may have a massage therapist. They might have a chiropractor. They might have an esthetician. They might have any one of these things. And so the interesting thing is this. If you realize that it's not always a competition, that if you put your client's needs first, that in the end, you too will also win. But your main job is to help your client win. That's basically it. They came to you with a goal and you want to make that happen. And along the way, if you can act as a beacon, as like the go-to person for whenever they need another service, then you should do that by all means. And so this is what we did. I worked for many, many years as a nutritionist and personal trainer in the late 90s and early 2000s. And how I started actually, so I used to work at a gym like most people do. And then after that, I did a lot of in-home training. And then I linked up with some hotels that had gyms and I trained clients out of those. And then if any of the guests at the hotel ever wanted a personal training appointment, they contacted me. But the bottom line is this. I went around to the chiropractors that I thought they were a little bit more holistic. They did active release therapy, they did Graston, they did just kinesiotaping, whatever it might be. And I'm like, oh, these are all services that I would like. So I would try them on. I'm like, oh, I really like this person. They're like, hey, I'm a nutritionist and personal trainer. I work with clients locally. I'd love to be able to refer clients to you. Would you be interested? And of course, they all own their own business and they said yes, or they would be a part of a business. And so great, that was the first start to the relationship. I said, do you have any business cards? Do you have any introductory offers that I could offer for my clients so that when it comes up, I can mention your name? And they said, that sounds great. And then at least half of the time, but typically more like 80% of the time, they'd say, do you have any business cards as well? And I said, sure, I actually offer a free complimentary fitness consultation and evaluation, meaning like look at core strength, look at posture, go over some basic nutrition, those types of things. And so that was always the intro. First, I would meet with them for a service, a paid service. Like I would go and meet with a massage therapist and pay for it. And it's not like I had a lot of money, but these are all things that I believed in, and I wanted to create my own network. And so I would look at people online. I'm like, hey, I think I really connect with that person, but let's see. And sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. And if it wasn't the person for me, then I didn't end up asking that person. But for everyone else, I did. And that was the amazing thing. And so what I did was I only chose one. This is kind of the secret. Like this, it's not a secret. There's no secrets. But this was, well, if you don't know it, I guess it's a secret, right? But this is what I did. I didn't ask 5 personal trainers or 5, I should say, chiropractors. I asked 1. And the reason is that I was creating my own network where everyone was the one within this group. Excuse me. So I got 1 chiropractor, 1 massage therapist, 1 physical therapist, 1, believe it or not, hair salon, 1 esthetician, and that was a recommendation from my wife. I should do some facials, but I don't do any, but I should. There's only so many hours in the day, right? And so I know that's an excuse. If you're an esthetician, it's an excuse, but I should. And then massage therapist and yoga instructor, like those types of things. So I actually had a network of about 12 people. And so what I would do is I would introduce people in that group to the other group. And before you knew it, there was like, let's say 6 or 7 of the 12 that were very active. So I can remember right now, myself and a chiropractor, a massage therapist, 1 hair salon. I got so many recommendations from this hair salon that we would refer people, an acupuncturist as well. We would refer to people to each other all the time. And here's how we did it. It was actually very, very simple. Each one of these places, might be a massage therapist. They didn't own their own place, but they had their own room. So inside of their room, clients getting change or whatever it might be, we would have just whoever wanted to put them there, up to 12 of all the different services professionally done that someone could look at. So we created rack card. Now, some people just had a business card. That was okay too. We didn't allow flyers because flyers look kind of cheap, so we didn't want to do that. But in person, we created, if you can just look it up online, it's called a 4x9 rack card. And you always want to do a 4 color, make it look nice and do front and back. So I would talk about the problem, like ours was basically body transformation. That's what I specialized in the late 90s and early 2000s. And then we offered a free consultation right at the very bottom. And so what we did was we created almost like on accident our own network. And it was wildly successful, Because if you think about it, like here's the thing that, I don't know if I've done a podcast yet on this, but I will. I actually just taught it to the BMEs. Think about this. Let's say that as a health coach, integrative health practitioner, you only work with, let's say, 40 clients, 10 people per week. That's like 2 hours per day, 5 days a week, right? Or maybe you work 4 days a week, however you want to do it. But it's just 10 hours a week. And I know that there's obviously other hours that go into it, but you're working with two hours a day, 10 hours a week, 40 hours overall. You can make a full-time living doing that. Just do the math, right? So 40 times, let's say you charge $180 per session, right? And then you also might make a commission on different products that you may offer, whatever it is. Of course, ethical things that you recommend that you like. It's a really good living. As a personal trainer, I always taught all of the different personal trainers and nutritionists that I hired, you only really need, this is for personal training, about 17 clients. On average, twice a week, that's 34 appointments a week. That's a lot of appointments. That's 130 or plus appointments per month. So these things are actually very easy to do. I ran very, very large wellness centers for a long period of time. I also taught my massage therapists the same thing. Most massage therapists don't have people coming once a month. They just come when they need it. Well, the goal is maintenance. The goal is self-repair. Or not self-repair, but the goal is to be able to stick with a program. So that's really what we did. And believe it or not, towards the end, we actually created packages. So this wasn't for everybody, but this was myself, a functional medicine doctor, with a personal trainer, and with a massage therapist. And as a package, they actually got 2 personal training sessions a month, which set them up with a program. They got 1 massage therapy appointment, and they got 1 appointment with me. And we actually bundled that together for $499. And it was a tremendous value. So they got a little discount on mine, a little discount on massage, a little discount on 2 personal training sessions. And it was fantastic because remember, the client that is taking care of themselves to that level, they probably already do massage. They probably already do, personal training. And so this was just a really nice package we put together. Now I give you that not as that what you have to do, but just as an example. These are easy things to do that you can use your creativity where you say, hey, let's put the best interest of the client at mind. And let's create what we call a wellness package, a monthly wellness package, and it's recurring. And so what I did was I just charged that, and I paid the personal trainer and I paid the massage therapist their typical fee. Minus I think we did like $10 less or something like that. So it worked really well. And again, this is just one example. But what I want you to do right now is look up locally and then go to see them. One chiropractor, one massage therapist, one acupuncturist, one physical therapist, one wellness coach, right? Health coach. Look all of these people up. Look up one concierge doctor, right? And you'll connect with all of those people. Let them know what you're looking to do. Let them know the services that you offer. Ideally, pay for a service first. That's what I'd love to do. So it shows them like, hey, you're serious, that this isn't just some money-making thing because you don't want it to be about that. You want to always put, hey, this is the best interest of our client and we can work together on this. And then each one of you can put a professional trifold brochure or rack card or business card in each location at the front desk or inside of a treatment room. And again, it works tremendously well. Now, I told you I'd tell you a little bit about the digital version of this. So you could be a virtual health coach, right? So think about that. So in 2019, my entire practice went virtual. Actually, end of 2019, we were like a hybrid model, half in person and half online, because people from way outside of Boston, although we had people fly in all the time. But the bottom line is this, that I would still have my same network locally in Boston, but now I could also take referrals from anywhere in the world. So let me just share with you how that might work. All right. Wherever you live right now, let's say it's Boston, Massachusetts, you still set up your local network, even if you're only a virtual practitioner. So let's say right now, Stephen Cabral, I only do virtual integrative health. Okay. I'm still going to the massage therapist, the acupuncturist, the chiropractor, the esthetician, the hair salon, the personal trainer, all of the different people, right? I'm still going to all of them. And I'm saying, hey, I work with a lot of clients, both locally, I'm sure that you do, as well as globally, like anywhere virtually. One, are you taking on any new local clients? Or two, do you also work with virtual clients? Because there's a lot of personal trainers that now work virtually, right? Massage therapists, yeah, that's tough to do, right? Chiropractors, that's tough to do. Physical therapists, well, some do, believe it or not. They do some coaching for lower back and hamstrings and a lot of other issues. IT, when I had my ulnar nerve entrapment, the person I work with was local and then virtual. So it's absolutely possible. So don't overlook that. But what I'm saying is you still go to the local people even if you're virtual. Now, your services are with people from Boston, Massachusetts, wherever you live locally, but it's still all done over, whether it's the iBone by Equalife app or whatever, video software that you're using. So keep that in mind, is that you can still work with the people locally, but provide a virtual-based service. Nobody minds anymore. Honestly, if it was 2019, some people still want to see you in person. Now, not only do people not care to come to see you virtually instead of in person, people prefer it. Why? Because you're not waiting an hour in a doctor's office, or you don't have to travel a half hour there. Listen, I can't get a massage virtually, but think about it. If it takes me a half hour to get to my massage therapist, I don't want to be late, so I leave an extra 10 minutes. So now I'm 40 minutes to get there. And then I have my appointment. It takes me 5 minutes or so to like get ready afterwards. And then I've got 30 minutes back. That's like a 3-hour appointment, right? It's at least 2.5 hours. Excuse me. So in 2.5 hours, I got a 1-hour massage. So you have to understand, there's a lot to be said for virtual. And that's why don't think that people won't work with you virtually. Even when my entire practice went virtual in, let's just say, early 2020, all of the people that I used to see in person in Boston, I would only see them virtual, even though I had an office in Boston. And that's because that's how I wanted to set up my ideal practice. So I sold my large locations, and I made sure that who I sold that practice to was able to take care of the people that I wanted to in that way. But the people who still wanted to work with me one-on-one individually, I obviously wanted to take care of them. But now as a virtual-based practice, even though I had a smaller office in Boston. And that's the ideal career that I wanted to create. I still wanted to be able to help people, but my podcast was taking off and I wanted to reach people that way. I wanted to create IHP. I couldn't do it all. It was just too much. There were no more hours. I was working like 70, 80 hours. And I said, I can't do this. I won't be good for myself. I won't be good for my family. I won't be good for my clients. Like I need to make the change. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't have to ask anyone for permission. Sometimes we think we have to ask for permission. We don't. My number one goal is being of service to others. That's my family, and that is my clients. And it's also now my team that I have. And so that's how I look at it. So just keep in mind, you can do this virtually, and you can also do it with other virtual practitioners. So believe me, online, you will find a virtual anyone that you can think of. And if you want to connect with them, you can also do these referrals virtually. So it's nice. You create your own network, both in person, locally, even if you're virtual, and then you can create a virtual network as well afterwards. And what you'll find is that maybe like 20 to 30 people, right? 20 to 30%. So say you have, let's do easy math. It's easy math time. I just got back from a late flight from Utah last night, and I had to drive actually from Boston to Maine that night. So we're working on a little less sleep here. So we'll do easier math. So let's say that you have a network of 10 people. That's pretty normal. Like that's a solid number right there. But you'll find that only 3 people, like 3 out of those, they give a lot of referrals. Maybe like another 3 give like a referral every once in a while. And then 3, they provide very few, if any, referrals. And again, you can always replace that last 3. So if no one's given any referrals to anyone else, like those 3 people, within, let's say, 3 to 4 months, then you'll just simply find another chiropractor, like someone who wants to really be a part of the network. And again, you can meet as a network once a month, and that would be fine. Like 30 minutes for coffee midday. Most people aren't busy as personal trainers, et cetera, around like 1 p.m., right? Or 2 p.m., whatever time it might be. So just think about that. And the last part I'll say to this is that just take really good care of the people who do provide you referrals. Like you might, in the medical profession, it's illegal to give like a referral fee for like a licensed chiropractor or someone else. But that doesn't mean that you can't offer them some of your services. So like for chiropractor, acupuncture, et cetera, I'd say, listen, I'm happy to offer you this lab testing. I'm happy to offer you like whatever it might be. They're like, no, you know what? You're already giving me referrals. I appreciate it. I said, listen, I'd love to be able to also show you what it is that I do. So if you're interested, I'll provide you with this and I'll provide you with a complimentary session. And they're like, really? Be like, yeah, I'd be happy to do that. And so I provide them with a complimentary consultation or a lab test. And many of them became clients as well. So just keep in mind that if you keep your mind open, sky's the limit. These things are really fun. You're helping many, many more clients to reach other great practitioners, and you're building a fun network. And that's part of the amazing thing about this industry is we work with so many great people, get to know other people in the industry. It's not a competition. In the end, we can all win, and that includes the client as well. All right, so hopefully this is helpful. Feel free to let me know if there's any additional questions. All of your questions become podcasts, so always happy to help. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing day.